So you finally want to stop betting like a casual and donating your money to PrizePicks, and you want to learn how to bet with a real edge using Daily Grind Fantasy or DGFantasy.com to place plus EV bets? Well, you're in luck, because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'll walk you through everything: how to navigate the site, which props and bets you should be focusing on, and how you can actually find bets with an edge that you would only know about using a tool like Daily Grind Fantasy. On PrizePicks, most people bet with their gut feeling, or look at the last 5 game logs, or even choose their favorite players to go over all the time. But with the plus EV betting strategy, we are simply using sportsbook data to our advantage to find bets that give us an edge against PrizePicks. Plus EV stands for positive expected value, and basically it means you are placing bets where the odds are in your favor over the long term. This is what separates casual sports bettors from the sharp sports bettors. And this is Daily Grind Fantasy, a premium sports betting tool that sharps use to compare sportsbooks lines and odds directly back to PrizePicks to find the best possible value. Now, before I show you how to find these sharp plays, there is one tip that I need to tell you, and that is for you to stop playing 2 and 3 man slips on PrizePicks. These sharps and people that are making serious money playing on PrizePicks are simply only playing 2 slip types. Let me show you. If you want to get better at playing PrizePicks and actually make money, you first need to understand the math behind these PrizePicks slip types and why you should only be playing 5 and 6 man flexes. So we all know that PrizePicks typically doesn't change your payout for taking an over or an under. The payout stays the same no matter what. However, we also know which slip types there are on PrizePicks and what the payouts are going to be before we even place a slip. Now, knowing that, we're able to do a little bit of math to find the actual odds each individual leg is going to be in all of these different PrizePicks slips, and the break-even win percentage that we need to be hitting at on our individual legs in each PrizePicks slip to be profitable over the long term playing these slips. For instance, playing 2-man powers, we get each leg at minus 136 odds, and we would need to be right over the long term at 57.7% of the time on each individual prop we play in 2-man powers. And 3-mans are even worse, guys. You get a 5x payout each individual leg at minus 140 odds, and you need to be right almost 59% of the time on your individual legs to profit playing that slip type. And now skipping to the 2 most profitable slip types that you should be playing on PrizePicks if you want to win money over the long term. That's those 5 and 6 man flexes, as I mentioned, where we get each individual leg at minus 119 odds, and we need to be right only 54.2% of the time on each individual leg to profit long-term playing these slip types. That literally means we can hit at a 4% less hit rate compared to 3-mans and almost 2-mans and still be profitable playing these slips. Sports betting is already hard enough. Why make it harder on yourself and have to be right almost 4% more of the time playing 2 and 3-mans on PrizePicks? Now we're back on Daily Grind Fantasy, and you can see this is actually the optimizers at Daily Grind Fantasy, where it shows a bunch of different optimizers for these different DFS apps, where it will actually pull in all of the sportsbook data and information into one place at one time for you to be able to quickly and efficiently scan the market and find plus EV bets. Now, there's not a ton of value at this very second of this recording, but I will show you what a plus EV bet looks like, and it's this very top play, Miles Turner. You can see the optimizer is recommending to take the over of 15.5 points and assists on PrizePicks. But why is that? Well, if we scan the sportsbook market, we can see here that all of these different major sportsbooks have this bumped up to 16.5 points and assists already, and then the one DFS app that also has this at 15.5 is favoring the over of 15.5 very heavily at minus 159 odds. So getting this one lower than the entire sportsbook market and at minus 119 odds is an absolute steal. And this play has a 54.22% chance to hit, which means it's above 54.2% and a good plus EV play for 5 and 6 man flexes. As you can all see, we don't have a ton of plays that are above 54.2%, so we're unable to build out a full slip for 5 and 6 man flexes, and that's fine. Sometimes there's going to be a ton of value, sometimes there's not going to be enough value to build out a slip. You just have to stay patient and wait for there to be good enough value to actually build out profitable slips. However, if you're wondering where this odds percent to hit is calculated or how it's calculated, I want to tell you. Daily Grind Fantasy does the math on the back end to find the true fair odds percentage or odds percent to hit these sportsbooks are giving these plays based on their projections and odds on the sportsbooks. And you can see, so based off all this information, sportsbooks having it bumped and sportsbooks having it heavily favored at this same projection, it's giving it a 54.2% chance to hit. So I just showed you guys what it looks like when PrizePicks' projection is just simply off from the rest of the market and you're getting a little bit of a discount. However, this is what happens when the odds are so far off what you're getting on PrizePicks when comparing to the sportsbook market. It makes it a no-brainer to play on PrizePicks. You can see here, Paul DeJong under 1.5 hitter strikeouts. We know that we're getting it on PrizePicks at minus 119 odds in 5 and 6 man flexes. Well, DraftKings and Flip both have this minus 170 and minus 185 for him to go under hitter strikeouts. A no-brainer bet at minus 119 odds on PrizePicks. Both DraftKings and Flip agree that this has about a 58.5% chance to go under, which is well above that 54.2% that we need. So this would be a really great play to get into our 5 and 6 man flexes. But I want you guys to know, the more data points, the better, and the more confident you will be when placing these plus EV bets. As you can see, we only have 2 sportsbooks that are telling us they are heavily favoring the under for this play. However, DraftKings, a pretty sharp sportsbook, which is heavily favoring the under, and then Flip, which is but also favoring the under. Now, if we had 5 or 6 other sportsbooks that all had odds for this, and they were also favoring the under, we'd feel even more confident in this play. Which is why if you look at my filters here, I actually have this set to minimum data points of 2. So it's only going to show me plays where there are at least 2 sportsbooks with projections or odds. So not only are the sportsbooks telling us this has a really good chance to hit, this is also why you should be line shopping and finding the best possible odds. Let's pretend we are placing a straight bet for just a second. A $100 wager at minus 119 odds, we would profit $84. However, if we took this for the market average of minus 177, which was that example play just a second ago, we would only profit $56. We would win $28 extra in profit by line shopping and playing at the best possible odds, which is minus 119 on PrizePicks. Finding plus EV plays just like this and getting that extra profit when you win adds up over the long term. Think about it like this. If you were going grocery shopping for your weekly groceries and you had 3 stores really close to you, Publix, Walmart, and Aldi. You know if you went to Publix, you would spend $115 on your weekly groceries. If you went to Walmart, you would spend $110. But if you went to Aldi, you would only spend $100 and you would come out with the same exact stuff that you would get at those different grocery stores. Well, where would you do your weekly grocery shopping? Of course, you'd go to Aldi and get out of there with the cheapest possible price. And over the long term, every week you go grocery shopping, that adds up for your savings or just some extra cash that you're not having to spend. You make plus EV decisions all the time in life. It's the same thing for sports betting. These profits are going to stack and add up. And if you haven't picked up on it yet, you just need to find 5 or 6 plays that are above that 54.2+% and get them into your 5 and 6 man flexes. Daily Grind Fantasy also has this really cool tool that is known as the AI slip generator that uses AI line comparing technology and correlation calculations to build out full slips for you to just simply tail. When you're plus EV betting, you have to be quick. It's a speed game. So allowing AI to do this rather than you manually line comparing and then deciding what you're going to put into your props is a huge advantage where you're oftentimes going to be able to get these plays in before the bumps. Remember, PrizePicks and these other different DFS apps and sportsbooks hate when we have an edge against them. So whenever there's an edge that presents itself, we bet it, and then very shortly after, PrizePicks or these other different DFS apps are going to bump or remove these props. That way more people don't gain that same edge. So if plays are getting bumped after you get them in, that's a good sign and you know that you are securing really good value. It literally doesn't get any easier than this. All we do is scroll down the tool, find the slip that we want to enter, go ahead, click it here, reveal it, and then on PrizePicks, click this Bet on PrizePicks button, which is that one-click button that is going to load up this entire slip off the AI slip generator into your PrizePicks account, where then all you have to do is enter in the amount you want to play it for, and then simply just click submit, and you would then have entered in a profitable 6-man flex. So that's exactly what we're going to do. 6-man flex for $20, submit lineup, and boom, we've secured amazing plus EV value on PrizePicks. If you do want access to any of the tools at Daily Grind Fantasy, I'll leave a link down in the description below, but if you use my code DustinDGF42, you will get 25% off your very first month. And I'll leave you with this, make sure you are managing your bankroll. If you guys have a $500 bankroll on PrizePicks, please never place more than $5 per slip you play. If you have a $1,000 bankroll, never more than $10 per slip. Sticking to that general rule of thumb of about never more than 1% of your entire bankroll on any specific slip. Over time, plus EV betting puts the math in your favor. You just need to trust it, execute it, and stick to the process, and you'll be profitable. Now that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and or learned something. If you did, make sure you leave a like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the way out as we post sports betting content like this every single week.